Hey riders, welcome back to the channel. Colin here over at Inside Cycling World. Something a little different here for you today. We're in the Red Bull Dubai Extreme plane here. Let's go check out the Jebel Jais. What's the Jebel Jais? It is the highest point that you can get to in the UAE. That's going to take a little bit more hiking than what we're going to do today, but we're going to be showing you the hill climb that's used almost every year to indicate the Queen stage at the UAE Tour cycling race that runs, I think it runs very early in the spring. This course here, last time it was won, 2024, stage 3, Ben O'Connor. Before that was Einar Rubio, Tadej Pogacar's won it, Jonas Vingegaard in 2021, and Primož Roglic in 2019. I guess they skipped 1 year. I know why. 2020. Let's forget that year altogether, folks. Totally forget it. Climbing up through the valley here. Now, if you look at any of the sites that show you climbs, you're going to find a lot around 19 kilometers, just having a little peek out the window here for you. But it all depends. I mean, we've been climbing the whole way. You could say the climb started at sea level if you wanted to. Basically, though, you're going to gain over 1,000 meters of elevation in this climb, over about 19 kilometers. It is categorized as an HC as well. The climb itself, basically, the technical climb, according to VeloViewer and other sites, starts kind of around the corner up here. We're following the road up the climb. The cyclists, the racers, would have came up this exact same path to get here. Now, Jebel Jais, it's in the mountain ranges, the Hajar mountain ranges that's shared between UAE and Oman. Oman's kind of got a weird outlay as a country, or layout as a country. It's on the southern coast of the Saudi Arabia Peninsula, but it also reaches all the way to the top, but it's split in two. Actually, it's split in three. There's a small little enclave in between that's surrounded by the UAE. But Oman actually has land at the very tip of the peninsula on the northeast corner of the Saudi Arabian Peninsula there. Straits of Hormuz, if you know that area, looking out into the Persian Gulf. So it's a pretty important part of the world for them. Now, the main climb will be starting somewhere down to the right of us. It's just off camera here to the right, as we're kind of like looking down on the barren landscape. I love this type of landscape too. I love the desert. Now, one thing to notice about this too is that you're going to gain about as much elevation as the Alpe d'Huez, but it's done differently. Alpe d'Huez uses 21 switchbacks. Jebel Jais uses 7. So what does that tell you? These switchbacks are absolutely gigantic. So huge. In fact, if you look carefully down below, you're going to see it. We fly directly over top of it. One of the switchbacks here is on our left, and you can see how they've carved out the mountain to keep the rocks away from falling onto traffic. Take a look down deep in this valley here. The switchback is directly ahead of us in the direction of the plane. Not this road right here you see below us now. It's still further down. Look at that switchback right now. It's just ahead of the plane right now. We're just spinning around over top of it. Look at that switchback there, how far it went and how far it has to come back all the way there. Incredible stuff how they did this on the side of this mountain. Now, when you think of climbs, you're probably thinking Alpe d'Huez, skinny little road, 1 lane in each direction, some of these weird climbs in Italy and Spain and Portugal. Take a look out on the side of that mountain there. That is incredible. Very rugged landscape. It reminds me of like where they would have filmed Star Wars or something. That's what it reminds me of. You can see the Persian Gulf in the background. Further way down the coast there, if you continue traveling along the edge of that water, you would hit Dubai itself. So remember, 7 switchbacks, a lot of money in this part of the world. This road is basically 4 lanes wide with like a glass finish to go up it. It doesn't look rough at all. It looks so smooth. Check out some other videos on YouTube about the UAE tour and you'll see the road surface is just perfect up here. Take a little jump there when the videos are clipping together. Now, in traveling in this direction, we're kind of like running along the spine of where the road will end up going. You can get higher. The top of the Jebel Jais is around 1,330 meters. Here, that's the road elevation, but you can still keep going up further. I think it goes up to almost 1,600 meters, roughly. Maybe it's 1,690. One thing to notice, though, is that you can't actually get to the top, because the top, the very top of the Jebel Jais is on the Omani side. What do you say? Is it Omani? The Oman side. Let's just say that just to make sure it's good. There's tons of lookout areas up here. It's quite developed. Doesn't show up very well here, but there's viewing decks, restaurants, well, more like snack places. Persian Gulf is that water just ahead of us here. Running along the spine, if you were to go to the top of the screen right now, that would be towards the Strait of Hormuz up in that direction. So it gives you kind of a bearing as to where we're going. Lots of car parking up here. You can continue to hike up the mountain here for, I think it's almost upwards of a couple hours. You can get to a certain point and then you can't go any further because you'd be technically going into Oman and there's no border crossing there. Up here too is the world's longest zip line. It's actually further up the road from the Jebel Jais Pass for cycling, where the cyclists actually go to. And I think what you do is you park down below to the right here, along that ridge that you can see right now, and you're going to be climbing, walking along the ridgeline that's ahead of us, and going as far as you can. You're actually going to walk past the alpine slide area. So they have a big alpine slide here. You can actually drive right up to it and park. You don't actually have to do the walk. You can park a lot closer and do a shorter walk. But a lot of people like to get out down below and start hiking their way up. So yeah, extremely rough up here. Just a fantastic sight. So yeah, here's an HC category climb in the UAE, in these mountains. Makes me think about the race coming up this year. Now there's another climb too called the Jebel Hafit. Shorter climb, I think it's under 800 meters of climbing, but it's a pretty wicked climb too. Check out the Persian Gulf behind us here, and over to the left, like I was saying before, Dubai is just off the screen here. That's where they have all the man-made islands. So again, folks, just something a little different for you here. I'm going to do a lot more of these videos. In fact, I've got a lot sitting on my PC right now that I need to get some commentary on. So stick around, folks. There's going to be a lot more of these to come. These are just little dirt paths heading to the top here. Probably still in the UAE now, but we're very, very close to the Oman border. Thanks for watching, riders. We'll catch you again real soon. See you around.